I just got done with work. I'm about to go help some friends move, some dear friends, but I could not talk about this. It was just announced today through a Sony blog post that PlayStation Studios games will no longer be ported to physical media starting in January of 2028. And that bums me out. That is like the worst news you could tell someone that has all of that going on. Not saying it's something that we can fight against, not saying it's something that wasn't inevitable, not saying it's something that I'm going to boycott, but it just makes me really sad. I don't know what else to like. It's a very simple thing. You know, there's a lot of things to laugh at this situation. Like Don Matrick, the famed destroyer of the Xbox brand after the Xbox One reveal. For those not in the know, Don Matrick, the CEO of Xbox in like 2013 when they're showing off the Xbox One, basically failed every potential metric, was not talking about video games, was talking about the console as an all-in-one entertainment system that you could watch sports on, occasionally play video games. And he said, like, there was also, I believe there was this thing what said that if you wanted to have, you could convert your physical games acted as a digital license. So you couldn't transfer your games to other people because that digital license is tied to your account. And then there was the very viral PS4. This is how you share your games on PS4.
This is how you share your games on PS4. Thanks.
PlayStation.
And now we're here. And yes, just to state out some statistics, there was like a 10% digital ownership rate of video games in 2013. Now it's like 87%, or around 80%, 78 to 80%, I believe. That flipped. 13 years, everyone stopped buying physical games. They do take up space. Sometimes you do have to download a day one patch because a lot of companies just are okay with day one patches instead of making your gold disc actually playable at launch. And also, what happened to sharing? Why do I collect physical media? I collect physical media to share to someone. To be able to, in 20 years, say, Bloodborne is my favorite video game ever. Take this copy of the Game of the Year edition and play it. To be able to say Super Mario 3D All-Stars has 3 of the greatest games ever made. Here you are, physically, not tied to a license, not tied to my specific console that I have to game share it with to another console, but just you can slot it in, play it whenever you want. I just borrowed from a coworker. I borrowed her 3DS to play Ocarina of Time 3D and Majora's Mask 3D. And she has the game, she has the console, she has the ability to give it to me. But, like, what's the point? Dude, let me borrow your console so I can play GTA 7, GTA 6, Red Dead 3, Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet. Like, that is the bummer of all bummers. Because what happened in the past 13 years, besides maybe COVID killed the gaming industry like that, like the physical gaming medium slowly because no one can go out. Ghost of Tsushima is sold out at Walmart's, or Final Fantasy VII is sold out at all GameStops. Let me buy it digitally. And now Sony doesn't have to share profits with Walmart. Sony doesn't have to spend money on physical box stuff. And they get to keep their prices at the $70 to $80 premium without having to share those profits with anybody, keeping all of that for themselves, not having to do like a Steam 30% profit sharing because it's their own platform. There are, of course, we live in it, like I have accepted the parts of the world that I cannot change. Destiny is one of my favorite, Destiny 2, one of my favorite games of all time. That's an online-only game. The second Bungie and Sony decide to not include not have the servers online anymore, That's it. All my memories, all my apes gone. But to be able to say to someone, hey, bro, this is a really good game. You should buy it at full price. That's so stupid. That's dumb. I had The Last of Us remastered. That the first game I ever bought for PlayStation. I got it for Christmas that year of 2014, and that was when the network, the PlayStation Network, was hacked by Lizard Squad. And so my brother got Destiny for PS4. He couldn't play his online only game because the PS Network was down. I had the disc. The entire game was on the disc. Didn't need to download anything. I was able to slot in and play it. And also, there's a very large question at play here, which is what's going to happen to digital ownership. Because right now, as it states in every byline of every digital storefront, this is a license to access patented property by Sony Entertainment Group or whatever. If there's an article I have not read yet. I can't speak to its validity. I'm very interested, or to its argument, other than I know it exists from Aftermath, the creator-funded website, which simply states, if ownership is impossible, piracy is permitted. And I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that, but it's just what's on my mind lately. Not necessarily saying, Sony, I'm going to steal your games, come arrest me, but it's the bummer of all bummers for me. Because there's nothing like saying, I played blah, blah, blah. Let me give it to you. Let me share it with you. Let me give you an easy way of accessing what has been one of my favorite games of all time. That's why I have what I call the core collection for movies and games. The idea that I can talk to my coworker Michael and say, I love the movie What We Do in the Shadows. Let me hand you a Blu-ray player and a Blu-ray. Go. Watch it, enjoy it. To be able to say, I have this thing, I'm giving you the seamless experience to experience what I love, to be able to share that with somebody is, to me, a very personally enjoyable experience. Like, I get personal enjoyment out of being able to share the things that I love with the people that I love. And for that to just be not possible for certain types of games anymore going forward it is a bummer. I'm here at acceptance already in the stages of grief. I'm not bargaining. I am angry, but I've known this was coming. This is not, the writing is on the wall. I mean, it's just, also, side note, check out those cool things. 2 newest vinyls that I got. Yeah, so I'm done ranting. Grant's rants over and out, but bummer. I think I'm going to title this video Young Man Yells at Cloud Save. It's just like, what the flip? All right. Peace out.